Welcome back, guys. This is part 2 of a 2-part video series. In this part, we're going to go ahead and show you how to prepare your image for printing, whether that be at your house or in the lab. If you want to go ahead and look at how I got to this image using Lightroom, I definitely go ahead and recommend checking out the first video to this series. That will go over some of the techniques I use, my workflow, and just how I handle Lightroom in general. I think it would be a really good video if you're a beginner at photography, editing, and post-processing. So definitely go ahead and check that out. But in this video, we're going to go ahead and talk about how to prepare an image for printing. And the very first thing you want to do here, guys, is make sure that the dots per inch or the pixels per inch or the resolution is set to 300. That's the golden standard nowadays. What that basically means is there's going to be, when you print this out, there's going to be 300 pixels per inch. Now, let me just get something straight. If you want to print something very large, it's very important to make sure that the dots per inch is set something really high, such as 300. Because if you're printing a 20 by 30, for example, and you have the dots per inch set to like 100, someone's going to be looking at this photo maybe a foot, to 2 feet away, and they're going to notice all sorts of pixelation. And that's because there's not enough dots per inch. So what we're going to want to do first on the image within Photoshop is we're going to want to go to the image right there at the top and click on image size. And since I've already done this, the settings are already there, but let me just go through it again. Resolution, you're going to want to set to 300 pixels per inch. That's the golden standard, like I said. And I want to go ahead and print this out at 20 by 30. So width, it's going to be 20. I'm going to select 20 there. And as you can see, when I typed in 20, the height automatically got filled out there. And you're going to want to make sure that the chain thing right there is linked. That way it is automatic. Okay, and this is a 3:2 aspect ratio, by the way, guys. So we're going to hit OK. So if you re-image yours, your screen might flicker, your image might change in size, whether that be bigger or smaller. In this case, nothing happened, and that's because I did it before I hit the record button, so I apologize for that, guys. Second thing we're going to want to do to prepare this image for printing is we want to sharpen the image almost to the point where it's over sharpened, and you're going to start seeing some noise, but that's totally okay, because this is a technique we're going to need to use to compensate for the detail we lose when we send something to a printer. And you will definitely lose detail if you don't sharpen or over sharpen. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new top layer. We're actually going to just duplicate the layer we have now with Control J, Command J if you're on a Mac. And just to make this easier for you guys, I'm going to rename it to First Sharpen. From there, we're going to go to Filter at the top. We're going to go to Sharpen and then Unsharp Mask. Now for the amount, I usually stay between 70 to 150%. Right now, I'm at 120%. I think that's a pretty good spot. Radius, you're just going to want to leave at 1, threshold at 0. We're going to hit OK. Let me zoom in for you guys. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to tell on your monitor, but on my monitor, there's a huge difference here. Without sharpen, without sharpen, with sharpen. Why is it doing that? Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Let me just bring up the navigator here. I don't know why that just disappears on me from time to time. Okay, so without sharpening, with sharpening, without and with. So not sure if you guys can tell. So just take my word for it. It did get significantly better there. But there's more. We got to sharpen it more. And to do that, we're going to go ahead and create a new top layer again, Control J. Again, Command J if you're on a Mac. And I'm going to name this second sharpen. This time we're going to go to Filter, Other, and then High Pass. This box will pop up asking for an input. Here I generally stick between 1 to 3 pixels. Right now I got 2.5 in there. I'm just going to hit OK. And then you'll notice that your image just turns completely gray. That's totally fine. We're going to go into the layers here, make sure the sharpen layer is selected, click there on normal, and we're going to go to overlay. And that will definitely beef up the sharpening, and this will give you some noise, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Okay. So, as you can see, there's a ton of noise in the sky. But that's, like I said, that's to compensate for the quality loss you get when sending something to the lab or printing your own photos. So before any sharpening and after any sharpening, if you're watching this at high quality, you probably can tell the difference there. Before and after. Okay, we're going to zoom out. Last but not least, what we want to do is go ahead and brighten the image. And that's because when you send something to the lab or you print something, you're not looking at the print behind an LCD backlit screen kind of thing. You know, it's going to be on paper. There's no special lighting the paper has. So by nature, you're going to lose some of that brightness. And there's many ways to brighten your photo, whether that be in Lightroom with the exposure leveler, with the tone curve. You know, I'm just going to keep it simple here and use Photoshop. We're going to go ahead and go to this little button here. It looks like a yin-yang kind of circle. We're going to press that and go to brightness/contrast. And I'm just going to bump up the brightness here to 20. There we go. All right, that's it. That looks good. So pretty much 3 things you need to do before sending your image to a lab. Make sure that the DPI is set to 300. For this is mostly for large scale prints, but you might as well do it for anything you print. That way you could pack a lot of pixels or a lot of dots per inch, making your photo the highest quality. It'll make your print the highest quality. Second is over sharpen to the point where you think that it's just too sharpened. I guess there is like a middle ground. You don't want to go too overboard with it where your photo just turns into crap. You know, you kind of want to be careful with it, but just keep in mind that you do lose a significant amount of quality when you do send to the lab. If you happen to send a picture that hasn't been sharpened to the lab, it's just going to look really soft and it's not going to be what you expected. You know, it's not something that you saw on your screen. It just doesn't work out that way, unfortunately. I wish it did. I wish whatever you saw on your computer monitor is the same exact result you're going to get when you get back the print. But the reality is it's not that way, unfortunately. Third thing, make sure to brighten it for the very same reason that we talked about earlier. You're going to be viewing this on a physical piece of paper, not a LCD backlit screen. So that's why we go ahead and brighten it. From here, we're going to go ahead and save it as a JPEG. So File, Save As type here. Actually, I'm sorry. We're going to go to File, Export, and then Export As. And depending on your computer specs, this might take a while to kind of just work out. We're going to change the format to JPEG, and the quality you're going to want to set to 100. Always make sure you're using the highest quality. I'm not even sure why you would select anything other than 100, especially for prints. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and everything looks like it checks out. We're going to go to Export All, and I'm just going to save this as something I'm just going to overwrite my previous file. And that's it. From there, you want to go ahead and upload your file to a website or, you know, a print lab, or maybe if you have a printer at home, you might as well print there to see what it looks like first. I don't use a home printer. I don't even own a home printer, but if you own a home printer, then by all means, be my guest. Yep. I mentioned earlier in the first part of the series that I wanted the photo to be more warm than it is cold, and right now it's a little cold, but I think it creates this nice dramatic effect. I think it looks pretty good. So that's the thing with editing, guys. You'll think something looks good at first, and then you'll change your mind over time, you know. But anyway, that's the end of this 2-part video tutorial thingamabob. This is my first time doing something like this. So please go ahead, and if you can, guys, leave me some suggestions, some feedback, some comments, something I should work on. Let me know if you guys actually like the webcam, where it's located, or let me know if I should just turn off the webcam in general. Some people like a face to the voice. Some people just want to get straight to business and could care less. Let me know what you guys think about the webcam. Also, I have a print of this already. Right there. It's an 8x12, I believe. I want to say it's an 8x12. It's the same image, just a different edit of the image. I'm not sure if you could tell. The one we worked on today that you see on your screen right now is much more dramatic looking. But this was actually my very first print ever as a photographer. And so it does hold a little bit of sentimental value to me. But I still want to go ahead and give this away at some point, maybe in a future video. So keep an eye out on my future videos for this giveaway as kind of an appreciation to my viewers. And we'll see what we could do. One of the requirements to enter the giveaway is you're going to have to be subscribed. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Keep an eye out. I want to say maybe when I print this one out here in a larger format, which is pretty soon, we're going to go ahead and do that giveaway. So keep your eye out for that giveaway, guys. Anyway, once again, thanks for watching. Please go ahead and subscribe. Hit the like button. Follow me on social media. That's where I post all of my work. www.instagram.com/Mike Goes Outside. And take a look at my website if you guys like, www.mikes.camera. That's my domain right there. Anyway, I'll probably end up putting that on the screen somewhere here. But thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next time.